Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Good Friday to you all. Welcome to Carrow Road, which is basked in sunshine at the moment, contrary to maybe what the weather forecast was suggesting a little bit earlier. But it's a resplendent day for some Easter weekend football. Norwich City hosting Plymouth Argyle here this afternoon. And of course, you won't need us to tell you, David Wagner said it as well, somewhat of a revenge mission for the Canaries, hoping to put that defeat in September, that 6-2 defeat, right. And obviously in a minute's time or so, we will be able to bring you Norwich City's team news. We have seen young left-back Guilherme Montoya step off the coach into the ground. So we'll see if he makes the matchday squad, and we should have it any second now. Hasn't quite dropped yet, but we'll bring it to you when it does. And it is going to be interesting. A few choices. Obviously, Shane Duffy back from injury. Does he come in at centre-back? Josh Sargent, obviously Norwich have had to nurse him and his ankle over the international break. And it is, I can confirm, an unchanged 11 for Norwich City this afternoon. They're like with Gunn in goal, Stacey, Sorensen, Gibson and McCallum as the back four. Nunez and McLean as a midfield two. Sarah in that sort of more advanced right position with Borja Sainz on the left. Ashley Barnes and Josh Sargent fit enough to start here this afternoon. Norwich City's bench: Long, Bath, Duffy, Fisher, Montoya, Fashnat, Gibbs, Van Hooijdonk and Abo. So an unchanged 11 for Norwich City. And Paddy, given what we saw against Rotherham, given what we saw against Stoke, probably hard to argue with David Wagner going in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's good news. Josh Sargent, obviously you did the presser earlier in the week. He wasn't giving too much away, I didn't think, David, but even when I left Stoke the other 2 weeks ago now, I didn't necessarily feel that was going to be an issue. He said he'd had another kick. I think that might have been a little bit of kind of pulling him out of the international mix, and that was the pretext. But and other than that, it's just a left back. It was Reneke at Stoke, wasn't it? They've gone with Montoya today, who is an established left back for the 21.
He's been injured, hasn't he? He's been out of a little injury, but back today and back in to the side. And you would expect that now to be the case for the rest of the season, given obviously Dimi Yanulis' injury, whether of course he makes it back for maybe the final game or even the playoffs. There we mentioned them. Is remains to be seen, but certainly for the foreseeable, it feels like he's going to be regular. And great to see Shane Duffy on the bench as well.
That's another good point as well. But it's still gone with Sorensen today and Gibson, which I think is the right call. The last two games, Rotherham and Stoke.
2 clean sheets.
And very comfortable, hasn't it? So no need really in that context to push Shane Duffy back through again. But yeah, good to have the experience. Particularly, well, that's quite revealing if he said to you that Hanley is basically on a fitness program to the end of April. You're almost ruling him out for me. If he's not going to be available till the start of May, then I think we're basically going to have to do this without Grant Hanley.
Yeah, indeed. And how do you see it playing out over the next few games and weeks? I mean, this is an interesting one because Sorensen has done so well actually since he's come into that position. But he's not a regular centre back. Where he is a regular is probably up for debate. But he's not a regular centre back. But today, it feels like Norwich might have more of the ball. Feels like he's probably suited to this game more than maybe say going to Leicester, or dare we even mention Ipswich next weekend as well. So do you think it's the case that actually Wagner could look at Leicester maybe being the point where Shane Duffy comes in?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, guy behind me has just said Bristol City have scored actually against Leicester. Right. The lunchtime kick-off. So given they've got Ipswich and Leeds and Southampton breathing down their neck, they get beat at Bristol today. Is it Bristol, isn't it? I think. Yeah. Not going to make the task any easier on Monday, but no, I think David Wagner might feel differently, but certainly publicly he would say no. That's not even in his thinking. Anything to do with Leicester on Monday is for after this game, effectively. So, no, I think he's looking at that in terms of the centre-back situation and just thinks, Sorensen, who had struggled, he didn't come off as I recall now, didn't he? Second half of Stoke, had a little bit of sickness in the days leading up, but the game was won anyway. But, no, he's worth another go, I think. But, yeah, Leicester have got some decent attacking options. Maybe it is the time when you bring Duffy back in for that experience. But certainly in terms of today and Plymouth, I don't think that's a factor in his thinking, no.
Yeah, and it's Nunez as well does start again. Speaking about him, and only got back, I think, into the country. Obviously, the benefit is he wasn't flying from South America this time. He was coming from France, I think it was, where they played France in the middle of the week. He scored as well, and he's a player who doesn't seem to do tap-ins for whatever reason. Marcelino Nunez, good strike from the edge of the box against the France side that had Kylian Mbappe and such within it. And there was some doubts about fatigue and whether he'd quite be able to make this game from the start. The fact that he has is obviously a massive boost. I think David said that he wouldn't be training Thursday. So, massive for Norwich City given his growing influence over the last few weeks. Nunez.
Oh, Nunez, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, the quotes that he gave you were kind of following on from what he said about him in the last month or so, 6 weeks, that there was elements of his game that were very good and up to championship standard. There was elements that weren't in the view of David Wagner, his looseness maybe in the wrong areas of the pitch and the turnover potential in terms of the opposition. They needed to cut that out. And he really has. And he looks, alongside McLean, I think that's good for him as well, having that experienced foil in a position he knows inside out, Kenny. And also the upside is where it releases Gabby Zara, which is to push a bit further forward, less of the defensive requirements to that role and more of what he's absolutely top drawer at this level, certainly, and that's the creative elements of his game in front of Jack Stacey. So it's a win-win all round. You get Marcelino Nunez hitting the levels which when he first came in we thought he was capable of attaining, and various factors that hasn't happened. But now, if I was to stop and think about it, this is probably the most consistent spell of his Norwich career, really, and it's allowing other things to open up in terms of the midfield mix around that, and obviously Borja Sainz is now part of that equation as well. And you just hope, the fact it was a fairly short hop to France, that the travel aspect of that hasn't really took too much of a toll on him, and if anything, he should be, because he scored, didn't he, against some of the best players in the world. So if that doesn't give him another confidence fill up that he belongs in that type of grade, then you hope that expresses himself today in another very composed performance on the ball and really sets the tone for Norwich.
Yes, indeed. Let's bring you the Plymouth team if we can. They're lining up with Cooper in goal, Galloway, Phillips, and Gibson as the back three. Sorinola, Randall, Houghton, and Miller as their midfield four. Morgan Whittaker, who caused Norwich so much damage in that game back in September, with Devine behind Ryan Hardy, another one who caused Norwich City real problems as well. So that's how they line up. Their bench: Connor Hazard, Lino Souza, Julio Pacey, Dan Scott, Joe Edwards, Callum Wright, Bundu Wayne, and certain Adam Forshaw as well makes the bench for a Carrow Road return. There were some questions over his fitness and whether he'd be available. He does make the matchday squad. Barley Mumba serving the final game of his yellow card suspension, so not available for Plymouth this afternoon. And Paddy, this is a game where, if you look at the form table, it looks like there would be only one winner really. Norwich, of course, looking for 7 straight wins here at Carrow Road. Plymouth only won one in 9. Ian Foster has been under huge amounts of pressure from their fans and survived an international break that many of them suspected and thought that he would not. But it has the potential, doesn't it, to be another banana skin for Norwich. And I think for all of the talk of revenge and all of this stuff, there is sometimes an element that you can go too far that way, and it can have an adverse effect on the game. So I guess it's probably about harnessing that in the right way for Norwich City today. Yeah. I mean, certainly inside the group, it won't be revenge. I mean, that's far too extreme. It was a really bad day, and I think there were some quotes from the Plymouth manager having spoken to Forshaw, and he's got a clear sense of how bad that was from a Norwich perspective. No, I mean, for me, David referenced the Watford return here in that context. We needed to set the record straight, give a different answer, and also Sunderland. And both of those games, eventually they got the job done, and you would think that would be the case today. There's no need to overhype it. There's a far bigger thing in play at the minute, and that's staying in the top 6. And to do that, a win today reaffirms that looks like they're here to stay and that they're going to take some shifting. If you're Hull, if you're Coventry, Preston, Middlesbrough, maybe. So, no, I think the imperative here isn't about records being set straight or revenge missions. It's 3 points to continue what is at the moment an unbelievable run of form at Carrow Road. That's my bigger concern, not that they get caught up in the emotional element of this game, and can it continue to be as dominant as they have been at Carrow Road, both in terms of results but also performance levels in the main. So, surely off the back of Stoke, they've had 2 weeks for the likes of Sargent and 1 or 2 others. I'm sure Ashley Barnes has benefited as well. Yep. Sorensen, just to rest up a little bit. You'd like to think they'll come out full of energy and intensity and really sunshine in full house. Go and show that you belong to be in that top 6. And I can't see, really, famous last words, but I can't see a scenario where Plymouth, you said 1 win in 9. I think they're 2 points off the playoffs. I wasn't quite aware that relegation, playoffs for League One maybe next year. But I wasn't quite aware that the coach was under that degree of pressure, that there was
a feeling that it could have been changed. If that's the case, it's 1,400 travel today. I mean, what a journey that is.
Yeah, I want to say very quickly, and obviously we're not here for the Plymouth fans, but I saw a few photos of them leaving Home Park, I think about 3:30 this morning to get here, and there's 1,400 of them. We know all too well how long that trip is. That's some effort, but yeah, carry on anyway. So.
No, absolutely. I mean, like the Norwich fans who made that journey down there to see not a lot on the day. But given the context of that, they're really in a struggle now to stay back up again, having worked so hard. I mean, how many years was it since they were last in the second tier? It's a long time, isn't it? Yeah. It would be a shame for them. And we got a great vibe
here since 2009, isn't it?
We got a great vibe from there. They were so friendly, weren't they? They were so happy to be in the Championship and all that entailed. And under Schumacher, as it was then, looking forward to maybe establishing themselves. And then who knew what? You go there, you see the fan base, you see the stadium. It is geared up, but. Yeah. Much like Norwich have found to their cost when they've gone up the higher level, it's the first year is just staying there, and then you can try and build if you can, and that's the situation they find themselves in now. But you have to think the confidence can't be too high on the back of that run, and that again is, if you're looking at it from David Wagner and Norwich's point of view, wasn't it Barnesy said a few weeks back about if you smell blood, that's where we are today. Can't be like there wasn't with Rotherham here. Can't be any sense of going easy on a team who are at the wrong end of the table and need points for their own ends. It's all about Norwich today, and impose yourself, almost bully yourself, and if you can bully them, there's far better quality in the Norwich ranks than there's the Plymouth ranks, so it should only be one outcome.
Yeah, particularly if they can get Sarah, Science, and Sargent, Triple S, all on in the same vein as they were away at Stoke, because they were brilliant to watch at points during that contest. So I guess that lends us to say, really, Paddy, how do you see this game going? It's
seen some big results here. I've
seen some big results. Yeah, 6-0 from Joe, the real Norfolk boy, saying 3-0, and then we've got Anthony at the bottom on Facebook, who's gone for a bit more of a conservative 2-1 win. I mean, for Norwich, you said, particularly with the context of the two games coming after this, away to Leicester on Easter Monday, and Leicester aren't in the best moment at the moment, but that's still a daunting trip, I think, for anybody. And then obviously the small matter of Ipswich Town here next Saturday. Does feel like today there is a real need to win this game. So, Paddy, will they?
Absolutely. Yeah, yes. Yeah. I can't remember what I said for Rotherham now. I certainly didn't say, what was it, 5-0? Yeah.
I think we might have gone 3-ish.
Yeah, I'm in the same territory. I think 3-1, I'm going to say today, Connor. You?
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a bit of a rogue one. I'm going to go for a 3-2. Norwich win. There we go. Great minds. And I didn't even see Ben's comment before I said that. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-2 because I think Plymouth have got goals in them, actually. And that's maybe the difference between some of the teams that come here. But I think Norwich will just have too much attacking quality to win this game. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-2 win and hope. And, well, obviously, that would be enough to keep Norwich City in the top six heading into Easter Monday and that double header, which many people feel is going to be pivotal to their season, really, in terms of taking points and I guess having control of that top six race as well. Pinkin.com, of course, the place to go. Paddy, put a special offer at the moment, haven't we? In terms of
we have. Yeah, if you've not already taken one out, why not? But join us on hopefully the run to the Premier League. Yeah, 3 months, £3. What can you get for £3 in this world now? Probably people are shouting at us after recent events, which we'll get into on the podcast after the game. But trust me, there's nowhere better to cover Norwich City, I don't think. But then I'm biased. But £3 is what? It's not even the price of a copy at a certain well-known retailer now, is it? So give it a try. And if it's not for you, then so be it. But there's one thing you can guarantee. I think this is going to be quite an exciting finale now. So every twist and turn covered on the Pinkin channels, and we'd love to have you with us.
Yeah, strap in, that's for sure. Thank you all very much for watching. Look forward to seeing so many of you at Carrow Road this afternoon, I'm sure. And let's hope that Norwich City can extend that brilliant Carrow Road form. Thanks for watching.